it's Morah, Alyssa, and it's time for some science. Today we're going to be talking about one of these. What are these? That's right, apples. They come in all different kinds. I have a red one here, a green one, and sometimes they're yellow. And we're going to talk about the different parts of an apple, and then we're going to do an experiment with an apple, and then maybe even a snack with an apple. Are you ready to get started? I am. So here we go. The first thing I'm going to do is cut open this apple so we can look and see what it looks like on the inside. Now this is not the way I normally cut my apples. I usually do it the other direction, but ooh, that's what I was hoping to see. Do you see what it looks like inside, friends? It has a star shape to it. Can you see that? It almost looks like a little flower. And what else do you see in there? What are these things? Do you see these little things? They're seeds. So how many seeds do you think are in this apple? Any guesses? Let's go ahead and see if we can find them all and find out. Let's see. There's one. Can you see that tiny little seed? There's two. Did anyone guess more than two? Because you're right. So far we're up. There's three. 4. Ooh, this one, oh, he went flying out. That's number 5. Do you see any more, friends? I do. They're hiding in there. Let's see. There's number 6. And I think I see one more hiding. Number 7. I think we got them all. I see little pieces of other seeds, but I don't think I see any more full seeds. And I don't see any on this side. So what do you think? Do you think all apples have the same number of seeds in them? I don't know. When we're done with this red apple, we can cut into the green one and see if the green one has the same amount of seeds, all right? So now I want to talk about the different parts of an apple. I have some cards here, and we're going to separate our apple into all the pieces. The first card says apple. So we're going to put a whole apple on that card. Then, since we already counted out our seeds, I'm going to find the card that says seeds. And I'm going to try to scoop all of our seeds onto our paper that says seeds. All right. My next card here, it says the skin of the apple. It's also known as the peel. Do you know which piece that is? Yeah, all right, so I'm gonna use a peeler. Look, I have a funny little peeler. It's a bird. And we're gonna try to get a little of the peel off of the apple. Here we go. And let's put some of the peel on the peel card. There it is. Maybe later we'll add some green peel. Now, how about this? Does anyone know what this word says? S-T-E-M. Stem. Stem. So let's see, where's the stem on our apple? That's right, it's right on top. So let's twist off that stem so we can put it on our stem card. Here we go, twist right out. The next part of our apple is the flesh. That's the meaty part of the apple that we eat. So let's cut off a chunk of flesh. Here we go. Here's a nice fleshy chunk of apple. And the last part of our apple is the core. So what part is that? That's the middle part. That's where we got our seeds from. So we're going to cut it from our bottom half of our apple that we haven't used yet. And here is part of our core. We're going to put that right there. So what do you think? Which parts of the apple are the ones that we eat? Do we eat the seeds? No, you're right. We don't eat the seeds. Do we eat the skin? We can. We can eat the skin. It's safe to eat. I like to peel my apples. I don't love the skin part, but a lot of people just bite right into a crunchy apple and eat the skin, and that's quite all right. Do we eat the stem? Nope, we don't eat that part. How about the flesh? Yes, we do. To me, that's the yummiest part of the apple. I like to cut it up and make apple pies or apple muffins, or just eat a nice cold apple fresh. And the last part is the core. Do we eat that part of the apple? No, we do not eat the core. All right, I'm gonna move aside the red apple leftovers. Don't worry, we'll be using those in a bit for our science experiment. And I'm gonna cut open a green apple. This time I'm gonna cut it up and down instead of sideways, and let's see what it looks like inside. Do you think we're still gonna see the same star pattern? I don't know, we're cutting it a different way this time. Oh, this shows the inside of an apple from a different way. So what do you think? Does the green apple have the same number of seeds as the red apple? I don't know. I think we're gonna have to cut a little more to find out. I see them hiding in there. Let's see if we can get them out. I don't see as many. I only see one seed and I just cut it in half. Can you see that, friends? It's a brown seed, just looks just like the red apple, but it's white inside. We can see the inside because I cut it. Here's the other half of that seed. So we have one so far. How many do we have in our red apple again? I remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we had 7 seeds. So let's see if we have any more hiding in here. I don't see any. Oh, look what I found hiding. I found another one, and I cut that one too. So there's 2. Do we see any more hiding? I don't think so. There's none hiding in there. Any in there? Nope, it's empty. Any in here? Empty. All right, we have our last piece of green. Ding, ding, ding. I found 1, 2. Uh-oh, how many are in here? There's 1, so now we have 3 so far. And look, they're nestled in together. Here's 2 more. That's number 4 and number 5. So our red apple before had 7 seeds, and our green apple had 5 seeds. I wonder how many seeds are in the apples if you have any at home. If you're gonna use an apple later for our snack, if you happen to have one, maybe you can cut it up with the grown-ups' help and find out how many seeds are in your apple. All right, well, I might eat a bite of one of these, and I'm gonna go set up for our science experiment with these apple chunks, and I'll be right back. Hi everyone, I'm back. So I peeled the rest of our apples that we used for our last part of our science discussion. And I used the peeler to take off the red and the green peels, and now I'm gonna chop them up. And I have 5 glasses here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're gonna put different things mixed in with the apples to see what happens to them. All right, so first I'm gonna chop up all these apples. Remember, if you're doing this at home, make sure you have a grown-up helping you with your knife. We don't want any chopped up fingers. What I do sometimes with kids, if you peel the apple first and then have a plastic knife, then I think even you guys will be able to chop these up by yourself. But this is a fun science experiment to watch on video. You don't really have to do this one at home unless you want to. What do you think, friends? Do we have enough apples yet? I don't know, maybe a few more since we have 5 glasses. You think that's enough? Let's do one last chunk. And then I can always cut more if we need it. All right. So remember, we have 5 apples. So I'm going to put a little handful in each. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Do a little more in that one. And 5. So what do you notice about these apples? Do all 5 glasses, do they all look the same, the apples we put in? Yeah, some might be the red and some might be the green, but they all look the same to start out on the fleshy part of the apple. They're all the same color. So the first glass, we're not gonna add anything to. We're gonna take this, add a couple more, and we're gonna put this on this table, and I'm gonna label it so we remember what we put in each of the glasses. So this first one is just going to say air. because we're not adding anything into those apples. Our next apples, we're gonna use some Sprite, some lemon lime soda. So let's see what happens. Ooh, don't explode on me. All right, let's cover up these apples. Ooh, look at all those bubbles. And I hear it fizzing. Can you hear it through the video? All right, you think that's enough? Do you see what else I noticed? It looks like our apples are floating in the Sprite. I guess the Sprite has a higher density. And all those bubbles, those carbon dioxide fizz bubbles, are pushing the apples to the surface. All right, so this one says Sprite. We're gonna label it so we remember which one. What should we put in our next glass? Any ideas? How about some good old-fashioned water? This is just water from my sink. We didn't get nearly as many bubbles as we did with the Sprite, right? Now here's one with a W, water. So let's put that right next to our Sprite. I hope we have enough room on our table. We have 2 left. The next one's gonna be something a little stinky that I'm using in a lot of my science experiments. It's vinegar. Woo, that's a really strong smell. Let's cover them up and see if anything happens. Nope, a few little bubbles just like the water, but nothing like the Sprite. And the apples floated right to the top. So let's find our vinegar word, V for vinegar. Here it is. We're gonna label our vinegar. And I think we're gonna slide everything down a little bit to make room. All right, we only have 1 more glass. Can anyone guess what we're putting in? It's something really sour and it's yellow and they grow on a tree. If you guessed lemons, you're right. We have some lemon juice. So we're gonna see if we have enough. We have a second bottle if we run out, but we're gonna squeeze all of this lemon juice onto these apples. Ooh, it's spraying up at me. All right, we finished that bottle. I think we're gonna open the next one just to get a little bit more. I wanna make sure they're covered all the way. There we go. So again, the apples are floating to the top, so they're not gonna get covered on the top, but they're gonna soak in that lemon juice. So what does lemon juice start with? That's right, lemon, L for lemon juice. So we're gonna put our last glass here. Now we're gonna wait and see what happens. And we're gonna wait and see if we have any chemical reactions. We're gonna leave these off to the side for a couple hours and then we'll check back in with you and see if anything happens. All right, I'll see you soon. Couple hours, bye. Hi friends, Morah, Alyssa, I'm back. It's been 2 hours and we left our apples on the table in the corner of the room. No one touched them, although Micah liked to smell them a lot for some reason. And now I've moved them back onto the table so you can see. So do you notice anything different about these apples after they've been sitting for 2 hours? I noticed these are a little brown. And I noticed none of them are bubbling anymore. And I noticed these are really brown. And I noticed all the apples are still floating at the top. So the apples in the air, that's this one, can you see? They started to oxidize, and this happens when apples come into contact with the oxygen in the air, and it's a chemical reaction. They start to react and they turn brown. That's what happens. Do any of you ever have apple slices in your lunch sometimes? And once they get cut in the morning and they go in a bag or in a Tupperware in your lunchbox, they start to turn brown by the time it's lunchtime? That's why, because the apples are reacting with the oxygen in the air. Do any of the others have brown spots? Can you see through the video? I see one. This one looks pretty brown. Well, most of the apples that were in the liquid turned less brown than the ones that were in the air because the liquid kind of protected them and it cut off some of the oxygen supply from going to the apples. The vinegar, for some reason, did not work like that. I wonder why the apples turned so brown in the vinegar. Do you have any ideas? And if you can see, let's get a close-up, the apples that are in the lemon juice did not oxidize, it looks like, at all. They just look as fresh as when I cut them 2 hours ago because the acid in the lemon juice protected them and prevented the oxidation from happening. So I thought this was very interesting. I think I need to go research some more. I'm really wondering why the apples in the vinegar turned so brown. But it's interesting that the acid protected the apples from turning brown in the lemon juice, and the water and the Sprite turned a teeny bit brown, but definitely not as brown as the ones in the air, because those were exposed to the most oxygen. Well, I hope you enjoyed learning about apples today, and stick around because we're going to do a quick apple snack coming up next. See ya. Hi friends, Morah, Alyssa, and I'm back with
Micah
and
Dylan. Hi.
So I hope you enjoyed learning about the parts of an apple and doing our science experiment with apples. But I thought, you know what? Today is Wednesday, and at Bake Bloomy, Wednesday is pizza day. So since we don't have any pizza, we're gonna make an apple pizza snack. So if you have an apple at home or anything else, maybe a piece of bread or a rice cake, you can make a little snack pizza too. And we're gonna use all different ingredients, and you can use whatever you have at home in your pantry, okay? It does not have to look just like ours. So we're gonna use an apple, since that's what we were learning about today, and I'm just gonna slice right down the middle. And I'm gonna make 2 slices, one for Micah. Oh, there's our star shape again. And I'm gonna make one for Dylan. Oh, that was easier than I thought. That's not the way I usually cut an apple. And now I'm just gonna cut a little circle around the core and cut out those seeds. That nice little star shape in our core. All right, and we're gonna just hopefully be able to pop it right out. Nope, not so much. We're gonna have to cut it a little better. Okay. We'll make it work, right? All right. And that's okay if your apple breaks like ours did. That's okay. It still tastes good. It's gonna get holes in it as soon as you start using those sharp teeth to chop it up. All right. Uh-oh. This one even broke even more. But that's okay, because we're going to put it right back together. But you know what? I'm going to try really quickly. You know what it is? Our apple has a crack in it, and that's why every slice is cracked. But let's try one more time and just see if we can stick with one crack instead of a whole falling apart apple slice. But you know what? Even if we get some pieces that break off, what do I always say? That's okay. Still gonna taste good anyway. Hey, that rhymes. We can sing our rhyming song, Kita Dalin. What is it? Okay, away. These words rhyme. Okay, away. These words rhyme. Okay, away. These words rhyme. Rhyming all the time. All right, my hands are a little sticky from the apple. Now I'm gonna give Micah and Dylan each a plate.
Thank you.
And a knife. And we're gonna use some peanut butter on top as our sauce for our pizza.
Thank you.
Actually, hold on to that. Now, if you don't have peanut butter at home, you can use maybe cream cheese or jelly, or if you have sunflower butter or almond butter, maybe even hummus. I don't know. I've never tried hummus on an apple before. Have you? All right, take your peanut butter and spread it all over the top of your apple. Let me know if you need any help.
I do. I think the peanut butter's like cool, like.
You think the peanut butter's cold? Isn't spreading very well.
I think.
I'll help you.
I think the apple's so slippery.
Yeah, you're right. The apple is slippery and a little slimy, so the peanut butter's kind of moving right off of it. So you just have to do it kind of quick. But you know what? Does a pizza look the same every single time you get it? No, the sauce isn't in the exact spot, and the cheese moves around, right? And you know what's the important part about a pizza? To me, it's not how it looks, it's how it tastes. Exactly. So I think as long as it tastes good, then we're gonna be in business. We're gonna do just fine. So as you can see, if you're trying this at home, it is a little tricky, but don't get frustrated, friends, because it will still taste good in the end. All right, there's Micah's.
Thank you.
And let's give Dylan. You made a little bit of progress. All right. So it is a little bit tricky to spread peanut butter on a slimy, slippery apple.
Who knew?
Who knew? Exactly. Usually when we have apples and peanut butter in this house, we just kind of dip them. But this seems more fun. Uh-oh, grab it. Don't worry, no children were harmed in the filming of this video. All right. So Mike and Dylan each have an apple slice that looks like this with their peanut butter for their sauce. Now, any toppings you have are fine. The ones we chose are some raisins, and we chose some sunflower seeds, and we chose some mini chocolate chips. So I'm gonna put a little of each on their plates, and you guys can figure out how you wanna top it. You can make a pattern. Ooh, Keats Dalit. I think these guys don't have to, but I think I would love to see if you guys make a pattern of toppings. We're gonna add some sunflower seeds. But again, you don't have to do a pattern. You can make it, you can try to make a little picture or do whatever you want. So we're doing raisins, we're doing sunflower seeds, and mini chocolate chips. We have these left over from when we made banana bread muffins. I don't know if you guys have seen that video yet. I don't know if I shared that cooking video with you yet. If not, it's coming your way soon. All right, now remember, just because we use raisins and sunflower seeds and chocolate chips does not mean you have to. We're all making do with what we have in our pantry. We can't all go to the grocery store right now, so we're just doing our best. So maybe you have, instead of raisins, you have craisins, or maybe some nuts. Maybe you have coconut flakes in your house. We don't have any coconut because we're not big fans of coconut in this house. Maybe you have almond slivers or anything sweet. Maybe you want to make a dessert apple. Maybe some sprinkles or other candy, M&Ms. I don't know. All right, these look like they're coming along. Friends, it looks like you don't need quite as many toppings as I gave them, but that's okay. Looks like Dylan wanted lots of raisins on his. Looks good. All right, do you guys want to take a bite? And then you can add more toppings afterwards?
Okay.
All right, let's see how it is. Let all our friends at home know how it is and if they should make it.
This is really good.
All right, so maybe that's a way that you can celebrate Pizza Day at home since we can't be all together at school for Pizza Day. So I'm thinking of you all. I miss you all so, so much. I can't wait to do some of these projects with you at school instead of at home with just these guys. Help me, I miss you. So I hope you enjoyed learning about apples and doing our science experiment. And if you try your apple snack at home, I hope you love it and it's super yummy. And send me pictures if you do any of my projects because I want to see what you guys are working on. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Bye.